Hey, everybody. It is Wednesday morning at 11 o'clock, and I am Dr. John Sherk. Forgive me for my odd audio today. Hopefully this comes through okay. I'm in yet another oddball working space on the road, which I often find myself. But it's Wednesday morning, and that means it's time for brown bag lunch. What I want to talk to you about today is getting in touch with what it is you're good at, and then making sense of how to use it. Here's what I mean. If you were to take the Gallup or the Clifton Strengths Finder test, some of you have seen personality tests like DISC or Myers-Briggs or something like that. But then there's another one that assesses strengths. In other words, just what you're good at in kind of a 10,000 foot way. It doesn't mean you're good with a wrench. It means you're good mechanically, let's say. But some things about the job, it just makes sense, right? If you're good at it, you use it. If you're, whatever it is you're good at, you naturally use. But here's the lesson I want to kind of pass to you today for you to think about. If you made a list of the top 2 or 3 things that you're really good at, right? Maybe it's with the customer. Maybe it's, and I'm speaking to techs, but if a service manager or a company owner is listening to this, it could also be things in the office that you're good at, certain tasks or whatnot. You gravitate toward those mentally, whether you want to or not, right? So let's say, for example, you're a technician and you're very good at the communication with the customer, right? Your tendency will both to be good at it, but also to overuse it. Lean too far into it, spend too much time on it. If what you're very good at is diagnosing a problem on a piece of equipment, you'll lean into that, right? But it will become an interruption of your work because we all do this. We take whatever it is we're good at and we instinctively lean into it, whether we mean to or not. And what that turns into are self-generated distractions. In other words, if I'm trying to manage my time throughout the day, I'm trying to manage this service call or this meeting or whatever else we're talking about, whatever it is I'm good at, I'll gravitate toward that. And if that's not happening with the task at hand, I'll get distracted in order to go do that some other way. I'll give you myself as an example. In the Clifton Strengths Finder, which is something I endorse and I think a lot of, my number one ability is learner. I've got a big academic background. A lot of how I get things done is analysis, evaluation, and learning this, and then being able to put it back to use, right? That's kind of what I do. And so I learn whether I mean to or not. But here's the thing. If I have tasks to do at my desk, but I'm not learning anything, I'll begin to, if I don't pay attention to it, I'll begin to distract myself to go learn something and not get done what I need to get done, right? Now, that dynamic, it's part of general time management skills, but it's also something you need to pay attention to. If you are, whatever it is that you're good at, let's not give it too much definition for now. You could go online and do a strengths finder if you wanted to, but you could do that, but you don't really have to. If you pause, you probably already know what it is you're good at, if you've got more than a couple of years of experience. So just realize in your own personal effectiveness as a technician, in your process of getting into a thriving life, that thing inside you wants to make you thrive. What that thing is that you're good at, your soul thrives when you're doing it, and you want to do more of it because of that. The problem is if your work is not aligned with that on what we call a level 5, where you're there, your primary agenda at work is just to do what you do best every day, but the work is not aligned with that, you'll tend to sabotage yourself a little bit in order to kind of go do this thing you're good at, and you won't even realize you're doing it until you've lost time or you've taken longer to do something than you need to or somehow distracted yourself. So what do? Step 1, do you know what you're good at? I mean, just articulate it however you would do that. Is it details? Is it mechanical diagnostics? Is it being super efficient on an install? See, if you're super efficient on an install, what will you tend to avoid? Communicating with the customer, right? If you're really good at communicating with the customer, what will distract you? Communicating with the customer instead of getting to work on the equipment. And anything else that you can think of as part of that. So for those of you who you've got some years of experience, you want to get out there every day and do what you do best every day, you need to be aware of this dynamic. Otherwise, it's a version of self-sabotage that's not bad. I mean, you're good at that and you should spend your time doing that. But if you don't pay attention to it, you will trip over yourself trying to do these things you're good at. Okay? So hope that makes sense. I'd love to talk to you more if you're a technician, especially if you're a technician and you're, wanting to decide if you need to find a new place to land to do your work, or we're rolling out right now the in-house recruiting machine. We've had remarkable interest in making the decision instead of trying to just hire someone one-off, one time, saying, I need a machine that is always active somehow, that's in the recruiting process, so that I'm resolving problems like bad timing in getting a good hire done. I mean, the odds are against you right now. If all you're doing to hire is saying, when I need a guy, I'll go look for a guy, you are setting yourself way behind the curve. And you might as well go to a casino and put your chips on red 18 and cross your fingers, because to find that guy, you've got to land with the right wages. You've got to find out he's got the right timing. He could be the perfect guy for you. And he thinks so too, except 6 months ago was when he was ready and you weren't. And now it's the timing's wrong. Okay. There's a lot of things working against you because of this disparity we all know about between the amount of talent and the amount of work. Okay. So what we put together is the in-house recruiting machine to create a system so that it just needs a nudge, from someone every day, and some lunches and meetings and phone calls to create a pipeline of potential hires, so that when it's time to hire, you've essentially gardened a group of people. They have some working relationship with you. So you've already crossed the barrier before hiring, which is they don't know how much risk they're taking to come work for you, right? Once they've gotten to know you a little bit and they feel confident that what you're offering is legit and it's not BS, it's a much stronger hire and much faster hire. If they're not sure, that pause is one of the reasons they don't come. So not enough time in a brown bag lunch to cover all the issues. But if you want to get in 2023 and probably for the next 20 years to get serious about recruiting and not just be scratching and desperately hoping to find somebody who can carry a wrench for you, you need to get into the process of building a backlog of guys, getting to know people. And that's really what the system does. It trains you how to do it. It trains you in what to look for, what kind of questions to ask to find out what triggers them leaving where they are and coming to work for you, so that you're not doing this game of offering jobs to people who already have them and it doesn't solve a problem they have. Okay? So listen, reach out if you want to talk about it. I'm taking appointments, a lot of appointments right now for this, quite a few this week already, to talk about it, get this thing set up. That's it. In-house recruiting machine. So reach out below or reach out to me somehow on Facebook or by email, or just commenting below that you want to talk to me. And we'll set up a little Zoom call. We'll talk about it. Okay. Listen, my name is Dr. John Sherk and I'm here for you. This is a free resource. I want to give it to you every week for as long as I can possibly do it, to add value to your life and give you tips on how to move forward in your life as a technician, as well as if you're someone who wants to care for a technician, put them to work and see them thrive as well. So that's it. I hope you had a great week this week, and we will see you next week.